We have a late night ahead on the Hilltop here in Dallas. And SMU at 8-0 on the year as its toughest test to date in Georgetown. Well, it has been a tumultuous week for the Hoyas. It began last Saturday with a home loss to UNC Greensboro. Monday, the Hoyas announced that their star point guard James Akinjo and reserve forward Josh LeBlanc left the program. They reportedly planned to transfer. Also, court records show that LeBlanc, as well as Galen Alexander and
losses, but tremendous rebound to beat an undefeated Oklahoma State team.
SMU in the white in their new Dallas branded uniforms. Georgetown in their title blue. And off we go here at Moody Coliseum. Ron Hunt missing inside. SMU 8-0 on the year. Georgetown is their first high major opponent. They have faced, according to Ken Pom, the easiest schedule in the country thus far. And Mack on a three to open the scoring. And Bryce Terrell Allen, number 12 in the title blue for the Hoyas, is the player who has stepped into the starting lineup for James Akinjo.
You know, he stepped in, had 15 points, 5 assists in their last game, but Mac McClung, he was ferocious with 33 points in his last outing, off to a great start.
Ethan Shagwell back in the lineup for SMU after missing the last two with a calf injury off the mark. And a foul. And on Tyson Jolly, we take a look at the Mustangs starting five. Tim Jankovic prides himself on finding positionless basketball players, guys that can shoot it and drive and pass. Initially denied by the NCAA, it was granted 10 days later, last month, just before they played UNLV on the road. McClung has his second three for Georgetown.
By the screener, you have to take the same route that McClung goes and be there when he catches the ball. That time he wasn't, and it cost him.
The lob from Davis to Jolly, and SMU is on.
And when you have a distributor like Davis, he makes it look really easy.
Jolly coming off a season-low 2 points in the win over Northwestern State on Tuesday. There's Jamarco Pickett. You really like his game.
Boy, I do. Ball screens and running different actions. Tremendous feed by Davis.
Omer Yurt 7 with his first post touch and a nice baseline jump.
There's really no defense for a taller, better post player in the middle of the floor.
Jagan Mosley from the corner. That's a three. G that we wear on our uniforms is about much more than basketball. We support the members of our Georgetown community who come forward to report misconduct. But again, in the meantime, Tuesday night in their last game, even said he was a legitimate maybe for tonight. But Davis is giving it a go, and he just turned it over again. McClung, the lob to Yurt 7, who guides it home. The Hoyas are up 7, right?
Exactly, and they have to recover a little bit quicker, maybe do some switching, other actions that will open up more things for SMU players.
Jolly missed there. SMU is 1 for 10. Open look for backup point guard Javon Blair. And the Deluge called him Tidal Blue, as in T-I-D-A-L. It's a modern take on some of the uniforms that Patrick Ewing wore in his time as a Hoya. There is a lid on the basket for SMU, and Jolly is fouled.
And I love the really happy he's having great success at SMU.
Lost PNF. What a job that Chris Mack has done in just over a year at Louisville. Now they're done. 20-3. Yes, that is the score. This is Mosley from distance. How about another?
You can see the Georgetown players ready to shoot because they know they're going to get the ball. And he gets it to them right on time, right when they're ready to shoot it. And those players are shooting with a lot of confidence playing off of Terrell Allen.
Jolly is fouled again inside. Akinjo and Josh LeBlanc in this advantage of it.
You know, no matter what level, if you're college, if you're pro.
It's taken the wrap off his left hand. Number 3 in the white for SMU. To the rim, rejected. Wahab got a piece of that from Emmanuel Bandamel. And Blair connects his second three.
When those guys make shots, how are you going to guard the Hoyas?
How do you guard it?
You know, I think you got to put a little more pressure. They're really comfortable right now. You got to get them a little more uncomfortable. Foot deeper made a big difference with the result.
Jolly. That one rattles home. Back-to-back trip.
Tremendous job contesting and protecting the rim.
What a surprise. The SMU crowd doesn't like it here. Here's Wahab. Against two defenders, he draws a foul.
And you don't want to foul.
They have combined for 32 wins. The last
done a tremendous job building this roster. And as a coach, you know, you lose 3 scholarships a year.
Jolly run off the line, and McClung comes up with the steal. Wild flip. He banks it in, plus the foul. Myron Gardner.
And for the last
8 as a team. Davis, feet set. That's short. Here's Alexander. You're at 7 with the offensive rebound. Shot clock resets to 20 this year in the college game. And a soft touch on that turnaround. SMU, meanwhile, 3 of 22 from the floor. And they've turned it over again. At least momentarily, Kendrick Davis takes it back. Tip up by Jolly off the missed 3.
You know, I remember, obviously, when he was at Baylor, we scrimmed second half.
Yeah, he clearly needs help. Just a deflection. No over and back. 3 to shoot. This is Pickett. At the shot clock buzzer. Oh, that's how it has gone for Georgetown. They will take a... Another look again. Check that number, bottom left of your screen. Had to avoid Davis coming to contest. Clearly on that occasion. Mike. He's a really good three-point shooter, but it's just not happening for SMU in this first half. Mike to the hole. Foul.
And I really like this possession. Georgetown defense going to be good all night.
ACC Network and the ESPN app. McClung doing his part offensively for Georgetown, and he's fouled hard. McClung outstanding at the line.
Nashville, I told some high school kids that I was coming to do a Georgetown game.
But the offensive rebound. Shot clock resets to 20.
And SMU, again, they've gone inside. They've had open threes. The ball, they need to see the ball go in. You know, I like what they've done offensively. When you make shots, everything looks shots down. If they could get some easy ones or easy...
Late all year and dealing with that kind of length. You know, biggie.
And it does take time. Again, I think SMU will get stretches. They're going to make shots. They just have to keep this game close enough where when they make them, they have a chance to get it tight.
Here comes the double team. You're at 7. Finds Mosley for the floater. A savvy.
Excellent passer, especially good in that mid area around the free throw lines.
Into the corner. C.J. White right down the...
To build some momentum. You know, you don't have to get back and get it within 8, but you'd like to get it down to 10, 12, so it's manageable in that second half.
No, that's not going to help. Javon ahead. Shagwa had it poked out of his hands. McClung all day. Oh, Mike tried to save it. Pickett ends up with it, and he's...
Your own basket. What I love to do is you either got to eat it, or you just throw it toward your offensive end as high as you can and make it a jumping contest. Can never do it under your own basket.
It was the ultimate. Look what I found for Jamarco Pickett. There's ice
rim, good finish.
Mike with only 4 points in this first half. SMU. Can SMU find something here in the final 2 minutes of the half? Nice ball movement here. Around to Bandamel in the corner. That's a 3.
Shots from Bandamel than some of the early ones we saw them missing.
First made field goal for Bandamel, the junior college transfer. You're at 7, a load inside. Well, you're at 7,
17-foot range, you know, in the NBA. And the game has gone and is very, very good shooting the basketball.
A couple of years ago at NC State, he was shooting 50% from 3. Lob to Bandamel, no. Got it back. Blocked from behind, but a foul.
Entangle with those long arms going up. Coach some players from his Brookwood Elite AAU team. And I'll tell you, the kids from up
McClung's got it. Over the length of Hunt, and he still drills it. McClung wanted a foul and a chance at 4.
And that's good defense, but it's better offense, and better offense.
All shots for Hunt, the sophomore from Detroit.
Really versatile. He can guard 1 through 4. Way better on the other end, and we've seen that tonight.
Just a slight difference between the shot clock and the game clock, maybe a second. Here's McClung, leading scorer in the game with 11. 3 ball again. Mac McClung sticks the triple. 4th of the first half. Davis leaning in, and Yurt-Seven commits the foul with a half a second remaining. Shooting 3 for SMU.
Make him a distributor for a little.
McClung has done that through a game and a half without a kin jump.
He is embracing that responsibility right now to have the ball more, to score more, make more shots.
Davis does make all 3 free throws at the end of the half, but it is Georgetown with the 20-point advantage, led by 14 from Mac McClung. SMU as a team has 4 threes, just 29 points, season low for any half. For the Mustangs this season, they shot just 20% in the first half, 6 of 30. So what do they need to do differently at the defensive end? SMU against Georgetown as McClung flips it in.
SMU for this game to get close the rest of the way.
We'd love to see something from Kendrick Davis, averaging 16 points his first 4 games since being granted the waiver by the NCAA. He had a tough shooting first half like the rest of the
bounds. I think that left wrist has affected him.
Last game Tuesday against Northwestern State.
They've really been locked in on the defensive end all night.
Here's Davis. Walled off. Jolly late in the shot clock. The lob to Ferran Hunt. First half.
You can see the switch here with Jolly getting switched onto Yurt-Seven. Shoots right over the top of him.
Offensive rebound by Pickett. Allen, little floater. Terrell Allen's first bucket.
And SMU likes to run a lot of high ball screens. They don't get a quick lob play.
There it is to Mike for the throwdown.
The thing you can do is get a dunk to get the crowd in and get your team to play a little bit harder defensively.
Great call by Jankovic. Great call by you, Bryce. Now Shackwell with the block. Out of bounds. It'll stay with Georgetown.
You know, tremendous execution. Tim Jankovic is a master at drawing up lob plays. Tremendous pass.
In Pittsburgh. McClung wants another 3. Pickett. Oh, missing from close range. Davis an open look. That's a 3.
When you give up inches, you got to be more physical, and that's what he was on that possession.
Pickett off the bounce. The little runner. 0 for 7 from the field. Now it's Jolly. 4 to shoot against McClung. Turn around. Mike with the offensive rebound. He couldn't finish. Jaguar on the 3rd chance. Puts it in. Pickett thought about it. Off the bounce and the finger roll by Jamarco Pickett. But it's an offensive foul. Isaiah Mike stepping in front.
And that looked like cylinder. You're in the charge circle, yeah.
And Doug Sermons has reversed the call. It is a block. You mentioned it, Bryce.
Good call.
We take it.
Pickett's had back-to-back big baskets.
So it is a 3-pound getting back again.
Great job.
Into the corner. C.J. White, air ball. And Pickett with the slam at the other end.
And be able to put him in the game to get more minutes. He just has tremendous vision. You can see his head just swiveling back and forth, seeing who's open, who he can pass to.
Davis, nice move to create space.
Confidence with the Georgetown players. If they open, they're open. They know they're going to get it.
Oh, Yurt-Seven was in too deep. Jolly with the miss there. Here's McClung. Leading scorer in the game. And now his 5th three.
Ball screen. That's the last thing you can do on Mac McClung. You have to go over that screen and chase him into your big man in the paint.
Nice pocket pass to Ferran. Lost 3 in a row. Good competition. Iowa.
About his culture and about what he wants from his players. And they're going to make for a tournament bid come March.
That's a little bit of a younger team. Of course, you lose Jarrett Culver, number 6 overall pick. It's going to remake your squad. You're at 7, short on the hook. And foul is called on stand. You're at 7, 11 points, 6 rebounds. Georgetown's leading scorer, rebounder, and shot blocker. Swinging around, Blair was hot in the...
We see him play. You know, now it's worked out for perfection for him being the starting point guard.
Turnover here by the Hoyas. Tyson Jolly hitting the deck to pick it up. Hunt to the rim. He lays it in, plus the foul.
Great rec.
Could not come. Inside, Wahab splitting 2 defenders. What a nifty.
As a freshman, to be able to avoid the charge and get between 2 and have a soft touch. Again, anything on offense is a bonus right now because his impact is on the defensive end.
Lob inside. It's Tyson Jolly on the receiving end. Patrick Ewing told Wahab at Madison Square Garden when they faced Texas and Duke, as Blair cans another 3. Told Wahab, you're not a freshman player, you're not a 3rd-string point guard anymore. 15 points on 5 threes. Davis.
Gardner's giving them. Blair able to rest your 7. Rest McClung.
Davis had no chance there. Blair wants another 3. You can give it to him.
And from the second it leaves his hand, there's no doubt where that ball's going. It's going straight through the net.
Bryce, he was a 21% three-point shooter entering the night. 4 of 19 as Hunt floats it in.
And for your shot, as he's knocked a couple down, you can see how easy he's making it look now.
And again, with the departures of Akinjo and LeBlanc, the rotation shortens for Georgetown. And according to Patrick Ewing, that has raised the confidence level of guys like Javon Blair. Is this shoot-around? Is there a defense present? Into the corner, Bandamel. Hunt blocked by Wahab, but a foul.
And you saw a little smile from change the tempo, maybe get a turnover, try to get your team in a different mindset.
Would you wanted to see that earlier?
It would all matter how Coach Yankovic, if he's comfortable with it or not. I'm sure it's not something they...
Georgetown went into Stillwater, knocked off a previously unbeaten Oklahoma State team. Gardner way off on the 3. And playing an 8-0 SMU squad tonight in their gym. Jolly hits the trick, searching for his 8th 3. It didn't happen. SMU will have a long time to think about this. Mike drops it off to Hunt, blocked by Pickett, but a foul.
Always want to schedule games that you think
had faced, according to Ken Pom, the easiest state conference opener against South Florida on New Year's Day, and taking on Vanderbilt, a school you know all about, on the road January 4th.
And for SMU to win one of these games to help their resume.
Yeah, this was a chance to put a notch on the belt as they look for their first tournament berth in 3 years. Davis is fouled for Georgetown, like you mentioned. Beat Tex, get back to the NCAA tournament. They have not been there since John. Davis too strong. It's a team with players that now have well-defined roles. Georgetown. Oh, you're at 7, swatted by Hunt.
Is you make others on the floor better. Terrell Allen has made every Georgetown player that stepped on the floor better tonight.
And 7 with 13 points. That foul is called.
These differences, you can see this SMU team.
Just a little bit in the second half, but by then the game was out of reach.
And if you're Patrick Ewing, you've played so well. You want to finish this game off. You're going to win this game, but you want to feel good how you've done for 12-4 run to give you some hope when you go into the locker room for your next game.
Hunt, another drive. This time he kicks it. Vandemel, a corner 3 ball. It's 2 points on 3 field goal attempts. He feeds here at 7, and the 7-footer is fouled. You know, can you picture anything better from a point guard?
It continues.
Again, took over for James. I don't know where we would be without Terrell Allen to take over the point guard duties. Hunt.
A factor down there, drawing so much of attention. And then, obviously, Terrell Allen penetrating, finding McClung, just making tough shots. And Blair, you know, no one expected coming in tonight that Blair would have anywhere near the night that he's had.
Here at 7, all blocked by the rim, but gathered it back in and scored. 19. Georgetown was picked to finish 6th in the Big East in the preseason. He's setting up Jolly as the 3.
Defenders are able to shut down McClung, hold your 7 down a little bit. It's going to force Allen to make some plays. And I think if you play Georgetown, you want to make Allen score to beat you.
Not the prettiest lob, but Jolly does finish it, and Wahab converts with 1:15 to go. Davis rejected.
You know, I really like the pace Georgetown's still playing with. And you can see, you know, we got 2 freshmen on the court for Georgetown. Everything out. There's no doubt who's in control of this team right now.
Gardner barrels into the lane. That's the shot. Offensive rebound. And a jump ball. And we'll head the other way with the arrow. And they've got a week to prepare for the traditional rival. Of course, now a non-conference game against Syracuse next Saturday at home.
And how fun is that game? Yeah. Growing up, it was Georgetown, Syracuse. It was Pearl Washington. It was Reggie Williams for Georgetown. Some classic battles.
Isaiah Mike with the 3 to push into double figures for SMU, and that will do it here at Moody Coliseum. Georgetown had a turmoil-filled week, but the Hoyas close it with a resounding victory against now previously unbeaten SMU. 91-74 the final. The Hoyas tied their season high in points, and Patrick Ewing's squad is now 6-3 on the season. Mac McClung points. He hit 5 threes. Overall, 14 made threes.